forecast in the coming days. And they're cheap, quick and easily made. We visit the Russian factories manufacturing thousands of drones every day for the war in Ukraine. Israeli attacks have killed at least 31 Palestinians across the Gaza Strip on Wednesday. As Israel intensifies its assault on Gaza City, entire neighbourhoods have been reduced to rubble and thousands of Palestinians have been forced to move again. Al Jazeera's Ibrahim Al-Khalili went to the once bustling neighbourhood of Al-Tufa to see the damage.
Live from Roma Ridge, this is News Bitz on channel MOE with Mami Fakopna, bringing you the top stories making headlines in Ghana and around the world. It's Wednesday, August 20, 2025. Here are your top headlines. These are: President John Mahama grants amnesty to nearly 1,000 inmates across the country in a major prison decongestion effort. Also in education, basic STEM education gets a nationwide rollout. Government says it's a game changer for early learning. And Ghana pays $1 million to University of Memphis to avoid deportation of stranded students, but a $2.2 million debt still hangs. We'll be back in just a moment with the full stories. Stay with us.
For displaced Palestinians to return to their destroyed residential buildings. At the time we left the neighborhood, there was little signs of life, but when we looked at the students, it was
Welcome back. Let's now dive into the details behind our top story, starting with our lead story. President John Dramani Mahama has granted amnesty to 998 prisoners across the country. The move follows recommendations from the Prison Service Council and the Council of State in accordance with Article 72(1) of the 1992 Constitution. Out of 1,014 inmates considered, 998 were approved for release. Among them are 787 first-time offenders, 87 death row inmates whose sentences will now be commuted to life imprisonment, and 51 life sentence prisoners whose term will be reduced to 20 years. The amnesty also includes 33 seriously ill inmates, 36 elderly prisoners over the age of 70, 2 nursing mothers, and 2 others released on compassionate grounds. A statement from the presidency said the decision is part of effort to ease congestion in Ghana's overcrowded prisons and offer a second chance to deserving inmates.
Israel is encroaching its military tanks and
in education news, the government has officially launched the Basic Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics STEM education program to boost STEM learning in basic schools across the country. The initiative was unveiled on Monday, August 18, in Sunyani by the Education Minister, Honorable Haruna Ichusu, who described it as a major priority in building a strong academic foundation for pupils at the basic level. Honorable Haruna Ichusu said the program builds on reforms initiated between 2012 and 2016 under former Education Minister, who is now the Vice President, Professor Jane Nana Pokwajama, aimed at tackling long-standing challenges in the teaching of science and mathematics. The STEM program is designed to move education beyond rote learning, focusing instead on inquiry, creativity, and problem-solving. Teachers will be trained and equipped with modern tools and techniques to deliver STEM subjects more effectively. The minister also announced plans to construct a state-of-the-art science laboratory in Koforidua to be named in honor of the late Minister for Defense, Dr. Edward Omane Wama.
Soldiers will be receiving call-up notices in the coming days, according to Israeli
The Ghana Education Service, GES, has opened applications for the promotion of teaching staff to various ranks. In a notice shared on its official Facebook page, GES said qualified teachers and officers can apply for promotion into the ranks of Deputy Director, Assistant Director 1, Assistant Director 2, and Principal Superintendent. Eligible applicants must have served in their current rank since 2020 or earlier, excluding any approved leave or absence. Now, officers holding master's or PhD degrees may also apply, provided their certificates were obtained through approved GES study programs and after their last promotion. For those applying with postgraduate qualifications, the certificates must have been acquired in or before 2022. The application process is entirely online and can be accessed via the link bit.ly/GES Promotions 2025 or by scanning the QR code provided in the announcements.
And the operation is going to be a phased one. So what we understand is...
And on education abroad, the University of Memphis has confirmed that a $1 million payment from the Ghanaian government has temporarily secured the stay of nearly 200 Ghanaian students at the institution. The payment comes after weeks of uncertainty, with students facing possible eviction and deportation due to unpaid fees under the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat program. While the payment offers some relief, the university says it only partially covers the total debt of $3.6 million, leaving an outstanding balance of $2.2 million. Now, at a press conference in Accra on Wednesday, July 30, 2025, the registrar of the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, Alex Kweku Asafo-Eje, assured that the students will not be deported. He revealed that $400,000 had already been paid and confirmed that a $1 million transfer is currently being processed. He explained that delays were caused by an ongoing audit and added that the funds are moving through the Controller and Accountant General's Department and the Bank of Ghana before being transferred to Washington. The situation continues to draw attention as efforts to settle the remaining debts are underway.
In pretty intense environments for a long time.
Now, experts are raising serious concerns over a growing trend in Ghana where children are being featured in social media skits, dance videos, and other monetized content, often without adequate protection. While many of the videos may appear innocent, child rights advocates warn that some expose minors to age-inappropriate behavior, emotional exploitation, and possible long-term psychological harm. Ghana's current laws, including the Cybersecurity Act of 2020 and the Criminal Offences Act of 1960, offer protection against sexual abuse and exploitation. However, there is no legislation specifically regulating how children are used in online content, particularly for financial gain or viral popularity. Although Parliament has previously discussed the need to criminalize harmful social media exposure involving children, no dedicated law has been passed. Meanwhile, countries such as France and the UK have already introduced strict measures to regulate child participation in digital media. Experts are urging Ghana to act quickly and close the legal gap before the trend escalates into unchecked exploitation.
We appreciate it, as always. Well, separately, the Israeli
in other pressing issues, the Ghana Medical Association, GMA, is condemning a recent attack on health professionals at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, also known as Ridge Hospital. In a press release dated August 19 and signed by its president, Dr. Frank Serbo, and General Secretary, Dr. Richard Salome, the association expressed deep concern over a viral video circulating on social media. The footage shows a group of individuals verbally and physically assaulting health workers at the hospital emergency units, disrupting emergency services in the process. The association emphasized that such lawless acts endanger the lives of medical staff and compromise the safety of hospital property. It is therefore calling on authorities at Ridge Hospital to take urgent steps to prevent similar incidents from happening again.
Annexed Jerusalem, cutting deeper into the occupied West Bank.
On the international front, the United States has reached bilateral deportation agreements with Uganda and Honduras as part of efforts to curb illegal immigration. According to documents obtained by CBS, Uganda has agreed to receive an unspecified number of African and Asian migrants who originally sought asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border. Honduras, meanwhile, will take in several hundred deportees from Spanish-speaking countries over a 2-year period. The deals form part of the Trump administration's broader strategy to convince countries to accept deported migrants, even if those migrants are not their own citizens. Human rights groups have criticized the move, warning it could expose vulnerable individuals to harm in unfamiliar or unsafe countries. Under the terms, Uganda will only take migrants without criminal records, while Honduras has indicated it may be open to receiving more people beyond the initial agreement. So far, at least a dozen countries have signed similar agreements, including Rwanda, which recently said it would accept up to 250 migrants from the U.S. The White House is also in talks with other nations, including Ecuador and Spain, as President Trump pushes forward with a key campaign promise to remove undocumented migrants from the U.S.
The ratchet of strong rhetoric from Anthony Albanese, the Foreign Minister Penny Wong.
To sports news now, Mohamed Salah has been named the 2025 PFA Player of the Year, following a standout season that helped propel Liverpool to the Premier League title. The Egyptian forward delivered a phenomenal campaign, scoring 29 goals and registering 18 assists, matching the all-time Premier League record for most goal involvement in a single season. His performances have earned him multiple accolades this year, including the Football Writers' Footballer of the Year award. Now 32, Salah continues to impress with his skill, speed and leadership, and this latest recognition cements his place among the greats of the game. With this win, he becomes the first player in history to claim the PFA Players Player of the Year award 3 times, having previously won it in 2018 and 2022.
And I fear that the current diplomatic kind of contretemps between Israel and
in entertainment news, the National Theatre will host the acclaimed play Death and the King's Horseman, brought to life by George Quay's Image Bureau Company and April Communications. The production is scheduled for 2 weekends, starting Saturday, August 23 and Sunday, August 24, with encore performances on August 30 and 31. Shows will be held twice daily at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Written by Nigeria's Nobel Prize-winning playwright Wole Soyinka, the play is among Africa's most celebrated works. Death and the King's Horseman is inspired by a true colonial-era incident in Nigeria, where the horseman of a Yoruba king was stopped by colonial authorities from performing a ritual suicide, an act critical to maintaining the community's spiritual balance. Soyinka's work explores the clash between tradition and colonial interference, as well as the horseman's own inner struggle, presenting a powerful narrative about cultural identity and responsibility.
Ukraine's port city of Odessa. Officials say 1 person has been injured. More than
to some lifestyle stories, Obroni Wewu still rings. From Makola Market in Accra to KJTI in Kumasi, and from Techiman to Tamale. Second-hand clothing, locally known as Obroni Wewu, continues to be Ghana's most popular fashion choice. With prices starting as low as 10 cedis, these clothes are the go-to option for students, farmers, nurses, teachers, street vendors, and even many middle-class Ghanaians. According to reports, Ghana imported over $323 million worth of used clothes in just 2 years, while critics raise concerns about ways the trade supports more than 2.5 million livelihoods across the country, from market traders to
In
tailors.
the town of Oktirka, 14 people injured, including a 5-month-old child.
Now let's plug into the latest from the world of tech. Google is making changes to how app developers can promote their services in Europe, following charges from the European Union that it violated key parts of the region's new Digital Markets Act, DGM. The EU accused the tech giant earlier this year of limiting developers' ability to guide users towards better deals outside of Google Play. Regulators also flagged concerns that Google may be unfairly favoring its own services, like Google Flights, over competitors. According to the European Commission, Google service fees for new user acquisitions went beyond what was reasonable, effectively restricting competition. The company has now announced updates to its external offers program, which will include revised fees and more flexibility for developers operating within the EU. Google stated that while it still has concerns about the potential for harmful content and user experience issues, it is implementing these changes after discussions with the Commission and other industry stakeholders. The company has already faced more than €8 billion in EU fines for past antitrust violations and could be hit with even steeper penalties if found in breach of the DMA, that is the Digital Markets Act.
Lugansk, but also Kherson and Zaporizhia.
That concludes this hour's bulletin here on Channel MOE. I am Amir Fakobna. Thank you for joining us.
Of dollars into producing its own. It says it will soon be able to make 4,000 drones a day. The increase is having a big impact